I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah. I stay smoking and choking, rolling and poking and floating. Yeah, someone say I smoke too much. I keep them white sheets on me like the Ku Klux. I'm a G from the sweet leaf, even do my thing with a vanilla. I'm the roller of the true Dutch. That's what I do, yup. I ride the day high. I'd be lying if I say I didn't choke on that good smoke. Wasn't fried off the red eye when I came by. See, I really try to stay out the way. Be picking from the pound, take an 8 hour a day. Be early in the morning, I be puffing on that good tree. Be sure to roll about 2 or 3. Nigga, true indeed. I love the smell and the taste. You fuck around with me, you be pale in the face. Eyes real low, moving real slow like the tempo of this here instrumental. Know what a hit for? I'm getting high on the get-go. Got a blaze for me to behave. Without a puff, it be quite rough. It's no joke when I'm blowing smoke. Feel like a rich man going broke. Slowly roll me a backwood with some OG in it. I be like Popeye when it comes to the spinach. I stay high, never low, to the point you would never know. Oh, for sure, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah, I stay smoking and choking, rolling and potent and floating. Yeah.
Pounding like a heartbeat, gently. You're very, it's so sweet. Look at me, remember me. My black beauty, my black baby. Black baby, what would I do without you? Without you, black baby, what would I do? Black baby, black baby, look me in my eyes, I'ma tell you when to come. You love that I'm controlling, I know you like it rough, but slowly, you know me, let your soul speak, this is holy. Black baby, black baby.
Fuck playing, I'ma leave your legs shaking and you begging me to break it. Love to see you naked
why you making fuck faces. Cry on this dick, cry on this dick. Pretty black baby, pretty black baby. Know you can take it, know you can take it. Pussy so good, pussy so good, pussy so tasty, pussy so tasty. I'ma kiss everything, fuck every way. I love to hear you moaning. Look at me, remember me, my black beauty, my black baby. What would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do without you?
How you playing? Keep playing. Sitting in a restaurant calm, drinking on that Dom Perignon, looking like a vegetarian. Cause you got so many carrots that you carry on. Don't make me carry on, cause you out with your boys. Let me keep my pole. Wanna play a game, wanna play a game, wanna play a game. Sitting here acting like I'm insane, like my shit's in vain. Like I used to be a Kenny Rain. And when the lights go down, still screaming your name. We playing games, playing games, playing games. No, we not the same. No, we not the same. You jumped the gun and I ain't. Give me game. Give me fame. Give me more. Give me what you came here for. Give me's in the bank. Give me's in the lot. Give me what you got. Give me that yacht. Give me that 2 times hot. Give me that wavy. Shit's getting crazy. Yes, it's hazy. It's getting crazy, but it's gravy. Yeah. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game? Read, I'll come with it in your dreams. You be watching me like Cooley. Lala ain't got shit on me. Have you on your knees like Lee, please. Are you free? Ideally, I'm all that you need, but you keep playing. Girl, you keep playing these games with me. You a lame. We ain't the same. Cut from a different chain. It's a shame. Will I stay? Maybe. Gotta stay a lady. Even though I wanna be on a low with a different Joe. Both 1 foot out the door. But we love each other, so we won't go. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. G-A-M-E. Ain't nothing in this life for free, but we still on this shopping spree. Bonnie and Clyde, he drive, I ride. G for life. To this game, true to the life. Steady here, testing your luck with me. Lucky me. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you need. You wanna play a game with me? I got what you.
Welcome to the Love Palace. I am your host. Goddess D Love. Love. An intense feeling, or deep affection, for something, or someone. At the Love Palace, we tap into the mind, body, and soul. But most important, the heart. So come through. Relax. Chill. And vibe out. With Goddess DNA. At the Love Palace. Feel the vibe. Oh yeah. You feel me?
Hello, everybody. Let me set us up. Something didn't happen here, y'all. Hold on. How's everybody doing today? Let me get us. We in the game room at the Love Palace. Let's see if it's gonna let us be great today, y'all. How's everybody doing? Peace and love to who we got? Marco Power in the building. Thank you for showing up, Marco Power. Appreciate you, King. Ben Walker. King Ben Walker's in the building. Thank you. Hey, Greedy. I just played that new joint. That new joint is fire. So, y'all, that first song I played, for those coming in and those on the replay, that first hit was Greedy Vegan. I like it, Greedy. I felt like there was some Jimi Hendrix going on up in that piece. It was fire. And then the next song was, of course, my cousin Bad Jackson, which is on YouTube as well. He's the singer. And then the last lady you heard is also my cousin, and she is on YouTube, and that is Lily Two Times. So yeah, I have a good bunch of family that is into music and everything. So that's I'm starting to feature all my people and all y'all that got music and stuff. Just let me know. You can hit me up on Instagram under it's D Goddess of Love, and then hit me up or put a comment and let me know, and I'll play your music. But how's everybody doing? This is our final series tonight of the mental health series. Well, we actually did mental health, so it was a 3-part series, which was mental health. The first part, of course, we were talking about the men, and then we talked about the women, and last week we talked about the children. So now we're just going to do a finale and just wrap everything up and just talk about mental health in general. So, oh, no problem, Greedy. I appreciate you as well. Let me go ahead and start with the clip that I had played, and I think it's still very, very vital for now too. So give me a second here, y'all. I want to play. Oh, let me put my disclaimer up. Hold on. They be acting funny while I wait for. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and get this clip up that I want to share, and then we'll go tap in right into it. And I'll be dropping the links for people to come up. So give me a second.
Work really hard to try to destigmatize mental health issues, especially within the Black community.
Absolutely.
Why has that been important to you?
Thank you. Thank you. In the Black community, we just don't talk about it. We have to be strong and tough. So much has happened to us over the course of history that we put on this front like we're strong, and we push through like the strong Black woman and be strong Black man. Like that is what's actually killing us. And the healing and the healing is in the vulnerability, and that's exactly what the strength is in the vulnerability, not trying to pretend like you're strong all the time. The strength is in saying, hey, I don't feel so good, but we've been told to pray our problems away. And yes, we do need.
Okay, y'all. I don't know. It froze on me. That's the main part I wanted everybody to hear, y'all. Okay, might have to run that back, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna run it back.
Work really hard to try to destigmatize mental health issues, especially within the Black community.
Absolutely.
Why has that been important to you?
Thank you. Thank you. In the Black community, we just don't talk about it. We have to be strong and tough. So much has happened to us over the course of history that we put on this front like we're strong, and we push through like the strong Black woman and be strong Black man. Like that is what's actually killing us. And the healing and the healing is in the vulnerability, and that's exactly what the strength is in the vulnerability, not trying to pretend like you're strong all the time. The strength is in saying, you know what, today I don't feel so good, but we've been told to pray our problems away. And yes, we do need God, but God also, ordained therapists and doctors and psychiatrists to help us, along this journey called life. So
what is, you worked with the Boris L. Henson Foundation?
Yes.
What is that?
I started that foundation in honor of my father, who was a Vietnam vet. And I don't know who goes to war and come back quite the same. And he had, Lord knows he had his issues, but he was vulnerable and he was okay with expressing them. And when he passed away, I just felt like I needed to do something. And it wasn't even about him passing away. It was me, out of my own necessity, needing a therapist for myself and my son. And it was like looking for a Black therapist. It was like looking for a unicorn with a purple horn and gold fur. It was like not there. And so I just felt inclined to do something. Like, what can I do to help this situation instead of sit around and complain? And so I started the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation because I just thought about a community that, one, doesn't talk about the subject, and two, can't afford to go get the help. So we started giving out free therapy sessions during COVID, but we've grown since then. Now we're erecting these She Care pods on HBCU campuses, and our goal is to get them on every corner in every city, because think about it. You can cut yourself, you can ingest poison, you got a headache, there's a drugstore to go to. Where do you go when you're in a mental crisis? Like, sometimes you can't call a 1-800 number, you need humans.
You
All right, y'all. Let me get my host up here. Hey, Saudi. Let me get us.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Hey, I know you be on the go, Saudi. Peace and love.
I know. I'm
Who
I'm
has
out
joined
outside, but
us?
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm just out to be
Okay.
with a
Okay.
friend, but
I
I hope
got you.
all
I
is
got
well.
you. All is well with you. How is your mental health today?
Oh, my mental health
This
has
week?
been so chill. Oh, this week has been like, I've just been on cloud nine. I've just been grateful.
Okay.
So there's been a snowstorm here and it's been crazy, and we've been
I
like
know.
loaded
And
good.
you see how I was supposed to be out there this week and I didn't make it, and that was
Mm-hmm.
why. Because I would have
I
been
see.
crying. But yeah, I know there's. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they turned down. They shut down DPS schools, so I had my kids, and it's just been a very long weekend. I forgot today was Saturday even, but
Oh, okay, okay.
it's been really
All
good, to
right.
be honest. I just been doing a lot of self care, a lot of self love. So gonna go hop in this jacuzzi after this,
Absolutely.
out to eat, vibes. I hope all is well in the chat. Peace and love to everyone in the chat.
Yeah. Peace and love to my sister Linda Healing. She has entered the building. Bronze Flat Power God is in the building. And Mr. West is in the building. And Lisa has just joined us as well. So yeah, like that's one of my favorite clips that you sent me, Sadi, because like I said, we're in the game room tonight, y'all, because it's we in the game room tonight because it's mental health and family. And this is my old school game. So in the Love Palace, we have different games that we can play, and this is one of mine. So that's why we in the game room tonight. And since it's a family affair, y'all know about the Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. Stop playing. But yeah. So I did drop the link for whoever wants to join the conversation about mental health and the family. We're just wrapping it up. But yeah, that clip was I love that clip because she really broke down, Taraji broke down like how we, especially in our community, don't even acknowledge mental health. And how she broke it down saying that, hey, when we break our hand or break our finger or have to go to the hospital, go and get care for other things, we go to the doctor, right? We go get it fixed. Or we do something, even if you don't go to the doctor, if you're trying to heal, you change your eating habits, you fast, you exercise. There is something to do for when you have physical. So when mental health, I think in our community we do look that past that and not realizing that maybe just talking to people, someone, or having a group of people that you talk to and confide in, or even if you have to go to the level of professionalism, that there's actually help out there and that you can seek it. And then it's not saying that you're I think in our community when we talk about mental health, and like we noticed when we had the segment with the men, so men will start there. It was a lot of men that shout out to Mr. West too for being on that episode. If you want to come up, you can too, Mr. West and Marco and Blended, whoever wants to hit the panel to discuss. But the men in our community, not everyone, um, don't think that that emotion of the sensitivity emotion is supposed to be there, and they don't feel like I don't want to go talk kumbaya with some other men and we sit and cry. That was the consensus that we heard on another panel as well. And it was like they didn't want to, they felt that that was, their masculinity was involved. When in turn, like I was mentioning to the men, like that's actually something we as women, I know me in particularly, if I have a man that is tapped into as an emotional side and knows that, hey, he needs help, or even does have to shed a tear or something, I find that to be more of a man than someone that doesn't recognize that, I should say. So like being aware that you might have mental health issues is such a thing. Hey Tate Eats, how you doing? Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. If I could get some links dropped, y'all, Mr. Weston Blended, Tate Eats, and Lisa's, and then you guys, drop your links as well. Definitely sub up to Lisa. She be getting me my mind right for investments. And then Tay Eats, be doing her vegan food, and I'll be sitting up here hungry. They're both beautiful, beautiful sisters. So we like to support, the Love Palace likes to show love. So definitely support those sisters for me. But yeah, like I was saying that people don't like the men didn't want, they didn't feel they had to, or they don't even feel that they need help. Some don't even know that they need help or recognize that they're in denial. And it takes a very strong man, a king, to say, hey, I'm wigging out right now, I'm tripping right now, I'm emotional right now, help me. Or taking that time to do whatever needs to do to heal that, talking to somebody, meditating, praying, whatever you have to do, do that. And I think that we need to be more aware. And then also on that night on the panel, I know Mr. West had talked to us as the women. He was representing for the men, saying I had asked him what we as women can do to help men with their mental health. And he brought up some good topics of saying, us just having conversations like this and being there for the men and really being a support system. And that means at times, women, we have to put our own thoughts and things on the back burner. And then, there was another point. I can't remember Marlene. It'll come to me. But Sadi, did you want to say anything? I know you're not. Hey, Big Dog Philly, peace and love to you. You want to say anything, Sadi? Because I could go and
Um,
go. I know you're busy, so.
no worries. Yeah. Mental health is so important in the family because it starts from the head of the household, I feel. And
Good point.
if your husband's crazy and your wife is just gonna go insane, what do you think the kids' brain gonna be like? You know what I mean? And then it just keeps going
Yeah.
on all the way down to the pets, and all the way down to them teaching someone else. Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm at the restaurant.
No, you're good. You're good.
But um, so just having that awareness of something is going on or something is wrong is so important to me, and making sure that you catch it when it happens,
Hmm.
and then noticing the patterns is so important, especially in especially in, family situations, because then you just be like, oh man, my mom was doing this, and I remember her telling me about my grandma,
Mm-hmm.
and the next thing you know, here comes, then the dad's side of the family might have some triggers and flaws. So I feel like it's so important
Mm-hmm.
to, like, when you really want to get to be with somebody, you got to sit down and get to know and be like, all right, can you tell me, your background,
What's your
everything, so on and so
and it
forth.
sounds so weird, like what's your
Mhm.
mental health
Yeah,
history, but like it's a very good
shit.
question, Sadi. Like
What is your mental history, buddy? You
we
on the
start
psychic? Let me know, because we ain't
yeah.
finna make no crazy
Yeah.
little Chucky dolls around here. We just, but it's for real. We just have to be
It's
aware.
serious
But
out here.
I'm
And
making
I
light of the
totally
topic, but
agree
it's,
with you.
go ahead.
Mhm.
Hmm.
No, no, you're good. Thank you, Blended. I appreciate you. No, go ahead, Sadi.
No, I was just saying we just have to be aware. I know I make these jokes to make light of the situation, but it's
No.
serious. It really
We
is,
do both.
because we don't know
It is
what
very
happens, and
serious.
then we turn around and there's another suicide going on. There's another shooting, the craziness.
Right,
Yeah. So
right.
we just have to be aware. And I'm here with my homegirl Elena girl. So she was like, I'm gonna
Hey,
hop on, but
Layla.
I'm just saying hello. And she's all about mental health wellness. This one for sure,
Oh
for sure.
man, see,
Mhm.
learning and building is in the building. Hello, my other son. How are you? I have not seen you. You in trouble. But that's okay. I'll be out there next week. Thank you for showing up, my lovely king. Learning and building. That's my other son, y'all. Definitely. But yes, mental health is really prevalent. So I got a glimpse of the news. Like, I still got to say, even though I dislike the news, I still be abrupt of certain stories. So one of the stories that caught my attention was a lady in Florida had, and it's a sad story, but it just made me think of this subject. In Florida, she decided to drive her car off of the bridge, and she had two twin kids in the car, and they are all unalive right now. And I know my first response before I was really into mental health issues was like, it would be more like a response like, "Ooh, man, she's crazy. What is going on?" Like, it wasn't like a more of a concern. Like, now when I heard that, I really like hurt in my heart, because I was like, what was going through this woman's mind to make her do that? To unalive her two twins and herself. It made me be more aware of that this is really an issue. And instead of being like, she's so stupid, it made me be like, no, what made this woman to decide to do that to herself and these kids? And you really have to think about those things. We always go to the negative side of things. What I say in negative, I mean, like, I used to just be like saying, "Oh, these people is crazy. People's crazy out here and all this," and then sort of just go along. But now I'm really taking the time and be like, wow, she might have really been going through some major mental health issues that we were not aware of. And of course, the media is not going to put that out there. But it was really disheartening, because the fact that I don't know the circumstances, I don't know. This is just my thoughts. The thought that she had to do something like that tells me that something was not right, especially to do that to your own children. So I love having these type of builds and conversations so that we could be aware. And even these conversations made me realize about myself. I already knew I was a little cray cray. No, I'm just kidding. No, but for real. But like, I really tapped into having the women's panel that we had after the men's, made me realize some things that I needed to be aware of within myself and my fellow sisters and sisters and family, the women that I associate myself with, and even those that I don't, to make me more aware. Like, they could really have some things going on mentally and we don't know. And we got to have these tough conversations. And like I said, I've been trying to implement. I be forgetting. I try to implement when I ask people how they're doing today, and I I sort of ask them, and how is your mental health as well? Because that could bring up a conversation. We don't know what that conversation could do. Yes, that was sad. That's sad, Tate. You are so right. It was sad. You don't know what conversation, what spark, what anything can make a person change. So we have to be aware. And like I say this to a lot of my friends. I think everybody has mental issues and multiple personalities. It's just that we learn to how to control them and know how to work with them. And I had told the story last week about my little cousin saying that he talks to his other person. He has other person and he talks to him, and he was so afraid to tell me. But then I was like, oh, I do that too. I got a couple of them. Shoot, I got a couple of them. And just the fact that I was telling him that made him be like, he felt like he didn't feel different. He felt normal. So definitely. I know I'm running my mouth, but I know Sadi's at dinner. So I knew I was going
No, it's
to be
okay.
talking up here.
You spitting them gems.
But the panel is open too.
Yes.
The panel's open if y'all want to hit the panel. Go ahead, Sadi.
No, yeah, please do. It's all about the awareness of your mental health. And it'd be sad. It'd be sad when you look back and it'd be too late. Like the mother in Florida and the kids, it could just be a moment or a day or a time of just, hey, how you doing today? How is your mental health today? Don't just give us it's good. No, for real. Like, what's happening? People are just so trapped in this box. It's like, have you cried? Have you had a good cry this month, sis?
Man.
These are important.
Absolutely.
Just a moment.
Very, very good question. Yes, Tay, it is important to check in with self and how you feel. I do that, girl. Man, this week I did it often. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, when we all say life is life, and it do be in our own ways. And that's how you know when conversations like this, and you're doing whatever you need to do to get in your mental state works, because things don't bother you as much because you practice the things that you have learned, or had a conversation with somebody and you're like, oh, I feel better, or even cried, like Sadi said. Hey, Antisocial Beautiful, thank you for showing up. So yeah, like definitely Tay, you got a very valid point. Yeah, checking in with self, that's where it starts. Like, how can I sit? Go ahead, Sadi.
Oh no, nothing. I'm listening to you. And I was sitting here talking to my friend, and she wanted to say something about mental health awareness in women, which I thought was beautiful. Go ahead, Elaine.
Go ahead.
So recently, I was just listening to, I think it was a podcast, or maybe I was looking at some kind of, they were reading an article, and it's maybe just happened within the last 2 weeks. They were saying that there was a study that was done recently, and what the study revealed is that the single most important factor, or quantifiable factor for children's success, is the mental health and happiness of their mother. And that's regardless of whether these children come from single parent homes, or they have they're coming from 2-parent homes. The number one factor for children's success in life is mental health and happiness of mother. And I just thought that was so provoking.
Oh, wow.
That even though my children come from a 2-parent home, it still speaks to me that I need to make sure that my mental health and happiness is grade A.
Yes.
Grade A.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That you just made my brain go like everywhere. Because we are the nurturers. Like, I don't know how much I have to stress that every time. Like, that is one thing that men, we're the nurturers. Hey, Drake Hobbs, thank you for showing. We are absolutely the nurturers. So how can we nurture if we not right?
Exactly. if
Man.
you look, never mind. I was gonna say a whole lot of other.
No, go
You
ahead.
feel it. You
No,
feel
go
it.
ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. Cause I'm on that. I'm on that today. We good.
It's the mothers. It's the womb, man. We carry you. We
Mhm.
are emotional, but if we all angry and stressed our whole pregnancy, you know what I mean. It's so important because our children feel that. They know that.
Mhm.
Whether it's that connection is real, that energy or aura will forever be there. Whether you know she's here, she's present, she took care of you or not. Not the father, not the grandmother, but your mother. So it's essential.
Yeah.
So working on that relationship's essential too. So make
Yeah.
sure you
Look,
keep that
I
energy. Yeah.
love take comment. So the saying, if mama ain't happy, nobody happy. Fellas, listen up. Shoot, fellas and ladies, we got to help each other too. We'll bring each other down too. Hey, Empress Sharon, sister,
That's
thank you for
true.
showing up. We break each other down too. Man, like I love how Elaine came and said that because that's one of the things Mr. West told us as women that we need to make sure we're there and we're available to help them with their mental health. So that's just confirmation, you know, that that's what we're supposed to do that. And definitely, if you're having a baby, that baby is taking all your emotions and feelings in that you have when that baby's in your room. So know that whatever you're doing and how you're feeling is going to affect that child. And I really had to learn that too later in age, to the point where I called my kids and was like, "Oh my God, I know why you do this. I know why you act like this." You know what I'm saying? Because when I did that deep dive into that and the type of things I was doing when I was pregnant, and I was like, no wonder why this kid does this. No wonder why this, and it made me just really be like, wow, like it is really true. We are really the nurturers and the ones that are to really guide and help the family. And like I said, it's never against men, because I'll be like, no, I need a man. I'm one of them ones over here, y'all. Anyway, but that we are a major part of their life, just like that chessboard. The most powerful piece was, that king's there, but that queen can go anywhere she wants. So
Yep,
it tells
that's
a lot.
correct. That's correct. And you know what? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, let's get personal. We're gonna get nice and transparent.
Okay. Hey, Naga Genie, thank you for showing up.
So, hey, peace and love. So, when my family would go through our ups and downs and issues, so I grew up in the church, right? Christian Baptist church.
Mhm.
And when we would have our issues and whatnot, and it seemed like there was a lot going on as far as like my parents fighting or, the kids just cutting up, at home or school, my mom and dad took us all to like church therapy, right? So we would
Mhm.
sit in a little thing and talk to the little pastor and all of that. But I don't really remember any questions as far as my mental health, like as far like how do I explain this? Like they would just like pressure and put like God on all your
Mhm.
issues. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like, well, what are you
Mhm.
thinking or how
Mhm.
you feeling? It didn't really feel like
Mhm.
therapy. It didn't feel like you were getting to the root.
Mhm.
It was feeling more like, oh, okay, well, have you talked to Jesus or God? Or like, there's always a solution.
Mhm.
It's like, yes, I understand that, but it's like, how do I channel these emotions? Like, how do you ask that as a kid? Like, when my parents get into it, or I feel like I'm just having a stressful day because I'm a teenager, you know how we were. So, what do we do?
Mhm.
Where outlet do we go to? How do we channel that and go to like a safe place where we feel okay to be open and just happy, because we didn't have our parents to go to like that all the time. At least I know I
Man.
didn't. I couldn't just be like, hey, I need a good cry, let me go cry on your shoulder. Like
Man.
in my
Oh my
household it was
God.
different, so it's like, who do we go
Mhm.
cry to? You know what I mean? What do you,
Exactly.
and then we find these different outlets and it's either a hit or a miss, and we all learn the hard
Right.
way, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that is so important, to make sure that you have an outlet as a family. And I did like that. I really did love that about my dad, because he was like, All right, this is what we doing. Like we'll go on a road trip, and we'll go get nature and we'll do
Mm-hmm.
things, and it'll be like a restart to coming back. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Like all we needed to do is just go and get away and remember who we are to each other, because we get caught up in all this shit that it's like you have these crazy thoughts in your head. At least I know I did as a
Mm-hmm.
teenager. I had my suicidal thoughts and attempts as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I ran away. I did all that shit. And it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to make sure that that you are just stay open and transparent as a parent, especially for your children. At least that's what I have learned growing up. So I'll do my best to apply that in my children and my household. So, and so far, so good.
That is
At least I know.
beautiful. Thank you for being transparent. That's amazing. I love it. Hi, the
Yeah.
word.
Peace
What's
and love,
up?
word.
Peace and love.
Yeah.
That is wonderful that you shared that. So because this I feel exactly the same way as you. Like I felt like I didn't have anybody until like adulthood. And when I mean like probably about 11 years ago. Like I felt that way for a long time. So, of course, when I had decided to have children, I always made sure I communicated and tried my best to ask questions. And even though I might miss the mark sometimes, but I felt like, nope, I'm breaking that right now. And in my heart, I feel like I did a very good job at it because we communicate even when it's something we don't want to say, or we can feel each other. Hey, Chrissy. So definitely, I can relate to that because that's what was like on me. And I don't want to get into the debate about the Bible, but I just want to say that, or religion. I just want to say that's what the answer was for me too. And like Taraji said in that clip, like, yeah, okay, I have God and Jesus or whatever, but what? Okay, can y'all answer this? And it was always like, or pray or that. Not that I'm not telling anybody to do that, but there's other help as well because sometimes you need more than that. Like I said, if you are working on your body physically, you do more, you work out more, you change your eating habits, you change your drinking habits, you do that. So why wouldn't we do that for our mental health? Do just more than one step. You have a couple of mental health bills on my channel. This topic is very important to me. I know. You should hit the panel if you can. I know it is because I know. Yeah, and definitely, it's important, guys. Like, I just wanted people. That's why I did a series on it because I really want to take this deep dive as a tribe and really see how we can help each other, with our mental health. What steps do we need to take? How do we communicate when we need it? How do you recognize when you need it? There's a lot of signs that you can recognize that, hey, look, I might need something, burst of anger. I mean, let me tell y'all something. This God is still love can have some bursts of anger. I'm just saying, I used to be that way and angry just at the world and didn't know why. And crying fits. Your eating habits is a sign of mental health. There's so many things we learned about um, having fits of anger, not talking, going, being isolated. Those are signs of things like that. And just know that there's different things that we could do. So, because I'm into meditation, I'm into reading. I do what I need to do for me, and it works good for me. So I share that to those that I am close to, but other people's might do other things. Sadi, you got something, or did you get your food, girl?
Oh my
I
gosh,
just
yes, I did get my food, but I'm sorry.
Okay,
Can
okay.
you tell
No, no,
me?
no. I
Can
figured.
you tell me the? No, it's okay. What was the
No, I
what was
just
your
was checking.
question?
Go ahead and eat because I'm running my mouth and I know you're eating, so I'm running my mouth. And don't worry, you can
No,
go ahead.
it's
I was
okay. I
just
just
saying
forgot
that
that.
what type of things do you do for your mental health? I was saying that I meditate,
Oh yeah.
read, and but everybody's
Mm-hmm.
formula doesn't work for everybody. You got to find your own. So I was saying, what
Mm-hmm.
type of things do you do? Have you implemented?
Okay.
I'm
Elena said
sorry.
she go to
That's why.
Elena
That's
said she
what.
go to sleep. She
Hey,
take a nap. She
you
said
know
a
what?
rest and
I take
arise, a new
man,
person.
them naps. Don't be
Mhm.
sleeping on them naps. Look, don't be
For
sleeping,
real.
but really be sleeping on them.
But really,
Because oh
yeah.
my God, when I don't do it, and Kima's just not up here, but she will tell you if I don't take my nap, y'all, I'd be a different person. I'd be like, I'm about to take a nap. She'd be like, okay, I'm
Like, mm.
like, oh man. Hey P Moses, peace and love. I'm
Hey,
with the nap
PDC.
thing too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like what do I do? I do so much. I do so much.
Share. Me
Sometimes I go to
too.
the look. I have a nice balance. Okay. So it's really hard for me to nap, right? Like I nap
Uh-huh.
kind of every blue moon, maybe like once a month, and it's be amazing. Like I'd be lucky. So, but I really do like to get with nature. I go outside and I'm
Hmm.
outside for hours, right? I'm sitting in the grass, I'm grounding. I'm at the lake. I'm somewhere in the wind and the trees in the air with the birds, right?
Hmm.
I love to write. I love to read. I just fall into a book. Um, I love to take spiritual baths. Anything with water.
Hmm.
I'll get in that shower and you know how your thoughts just go because you just be hearing it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just a feeling. What else
Yeah.
do I do? I go to the gun range.
Oh yes, let's talk about it, honey. For real, like people think because they
Go to the
think those
rage
side
room. You
right
know,
because
throw
they
some
be like, oh,
action.
those spiritual ladies don't be into y'all
Oh
don't
no, we
be
with it.
knowing. Shh, we still part of the world, y'all.
We are.
Let's
We have to make sure that we're all protected. And it felt really
exactly.
good. You know, I went
Oh,
there
I
like
know. I can't
Tuesday
wait. I can't
and
wait.
I
I can't
let
wait.
off all that steam. I was like, ooh, yeah. And I
Hmm.
was like, look at them targets. Never miss. You know what I'm saying? Hype myself up. Or even then, yeah, and then, you know, I meditate from the 5280 real through my high. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I just, and then
Okay.
sometimes I just sit with myself. I just literally just be like, what is going on, sis? So meditation is key for sure.
Yes.
Hmm.
Hey, Big Dog Philly, welcome to the platform.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, Elena said music and yoga, definitely,
Oh yeah, you hear that
definitely.
little music I got going on there?
Hmm.
Mic check, Big Dog Philly. Okay.
Hey, Big Dog
Yes,
Philly.
yoga.
Yeah.
Mic check, mic
Yoga.
check.
There. Yes, gotcha. Hear you loud and clear. How you doing this evening?
Doing good, man. How you doing? Much love and respect to you and the family, the goddess of love, Saudi Queen. Much love and respect to you and the family.
Peace
I
and
think
love.
this is, I just wanted to tap in real quick and talk about
Absolutely.
mental health.
Absolutely.
I seen no men jumped on the panel, so I said, let me come up real quick, tap in, then let y'all ladies
Thank
do
you.
y'all thing. You know,
Absolutely.
for me, you know, keeping my mental health uh good, I try to keep a positive mindset. You know, even think when things are going bad, I try to still keep a positive mindset, keep positivity to all people. You know what I mean? And that keeps me in a peaceful state. Cause once, chaos erupts, in situations, then my mental health becomes a little more unstable. But mainly, when
Hmm.
I keep it on a positive side, just for me, it keeps my thoughts clear, and helps me, with that mental health problem that I believe all of us had. But for me, it's trying to keep things positive, even when things are looking bad, trying to find a positive part of the day and lock on it in on that. And also, one thing I've learned to keep my day positive, say if I'm having a bad day, I can always start that day over from that moment on and push positive thoughts in my head to make sure,
Hmm.
my mental health stays good and I'm having a positive day. But that's all I wanted to say. Much respect to both of y'all.
Absolutely. That is beautiful, Big Dog Philly. I appreciate that. Like
Absolutely.
you said, that was wonderful. So let me ask you, because I want to ask you while you're up here, what can women like myself and Sadi Queen and those that are part of the tribe, what can we do to help men with their mental health? What would you say would be a good suggestion for us? Hey, sister, Tiara Latrice.
My suggestion is try to keep things positive. And as long as we keep things positive, more than likely, the mental health won't really come out. You know what I mean? Just try to be positive and respectful to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Absolutely.
just for me.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody, like I said, everybody formula is a little different, but we could take a little piece of each of. That's how I do. I take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Y'all take the meat and spit off the bones. I know I hear y'all say that. I take a little bit of what I need from each person and see what works for me, and what doesn't, I adjust it accordingly. So, definitely positivity is a must. Go ahead, Sadi.
Mhm. No, I was just agreeing. Absolutely. You got to remain optimistic, you know? Just be happy. It's so easy to be upset and miserable and mad and negative and Nancy and Debbie the Downer. Like, it's so easy, right? But it's like, why is it so hard for people to just always remain optimistic? Like, it sometimes kills and hurts other people's life. The happier you are in the way you're trying to heal. I shared a meme that said something like that earlier. It's like people are be so mad when you be working on yourself trying to be the best of you. It's like, I'm just trying to remain calm, right? I'm just trying to remain optimistic. Just, manifest and even think, even your thoughts are manifestation, and just think of the cup halfway full all the time. If you just do that, you know what I mean? Maybe at least you're halfway there. You know what I mean? Just
Hmm.
remain happy. So I agree with Big Top Philly. Happiness is key, Ashe. hmm
Absolutely.
Oh,
The
and
positive.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
I have Elena on the chat with me
Oh,
too.
go ahead,
Go
Elena.
ahead, Elena. She wanted to chime in about Bill.
Yes, absolutely.
So I do appreciate this conversation, but me and Keisha were talking on the side, and it dawned on me, like, I think there's some grounding and level setting would be nice for the conversation, because I think there's components of mental health that often gets overlooked. So this is a definition from the World Health Organization for concepts in mental health, and it reads: mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well and work well, and contribute to their community. It is an integral component of health and well-being that underpins our individual and collective abilities to make decisions, build relationships, and shape the world we live in. I think the part of that definition that often gets overlooked is realizing your abilities and shaping the
Hmm.
world and contributing to our community and
Community.
shaping the world we
Yes.
live in.
That's what got me. That community, contributing to the community is the part that. So, can you read that part one more time? And Nagajini, 1 second. Thank you for hitting the part where it says the community part. I that's what caught me.
Yeah.
If you still have
Um,
that. Read
yep, I do. So, components: cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well and work well, and contribute to their community.
that.
Um, and then the second sentence in that is, it's the thing that underpins individual and collective abilities to make decisions, build
Mm.
relationships, build relationships, and shape the world we live in. So
Wow.
mental
Go
health
ahead.
is like one of those things where it's I think that we often kind of compartmentalize it, like your mental health is, making sure that you're well, your yoga,
Mhm.
maybe your music, like you have to make sure that your mental state is in a good or a state of well-being. But the component that's interesting is that building relationships with others, contributing to your community,
Mhm.
shaping the
Mhm.
world you live in. All of those are also aspects of mental
Mhm.
health and well being, or concepts. that go together. And I think that also kind of ties back into, right, what I was talking about earlier, is that the study that was recently showed that the number one indicator of success in children is the mental health of their mother and the happiness of their mother. But that also speaks to that World Health Organization's definition, where building relationships, shaping the world you live in, right? Because you're shaping this world for your kids. You're building that strong foundational bond with your kids. And that's what ties that and is the driving factor of that indicator in that study that contributes to success of our children. But I think it's just interesting to kind of level set on what components are considered in mental health. So I just wanted to share
That
that.
was beautiful. Thank you for that wonderful knowledge. I enjoyed that. Hey, so Alma, hi
Ashe.
sissy.
Hey, so
Uh,
I'm oh,
hey Nakajini,
hey
how you
Naga,
doing
hey
this
love.
evening? Or is it morning or evening where you at?
Yeah, it's nighttime. It's
It's not.
actually 11 o'clock.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean
How,
11:11
oh, let's
to be
go
exact.
11. That's what I'm manifesting. Okay, anyway. Nakajini, how are you doing this evening and how is your mental health?
Uh, Great. Everything is great. This is why I wanted to kind of tap in because I'm loving
Absolutely.
the information. Because for me, I didn't realize that I had a mental health issue until I started to deal with my with being angry. you know I wasn't at some point I realized that I needed to deal with me being angry, and I had to understand where that was coming from. But I think it's a little bit of everything that I just heard, with the environment, being stressed, and having the pressure, to adapt with society, uh, in a in basically in a quicker than I needed to, so that kind of had me basically had I had to skip, like, my childhood in a way, you know, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get to deal with my inner child, the way that I was supposed
Mm,
to. So fast forward, being an adult, that kind of put a lot of all the stress that I already went through, and is continue to going through, some way somehow, they had to come out, and they was coming out, with with anger, in a form of anger, you know
mm,
so
mm,
I was angry, any little thing, would get me angry, but like I said, long story short, in order to, what made me realize that is when I start, dealing with my anger, and I started to find out, what makes me happy, what got me to release this anger, that I had is basically tapping into my inner child, is when I could
mm.
just do what I love doing, which I didn't get a chance to to really do when I was little, which is like sports.
Wow.
I love to play sports, and I find out that helped me a lot. I play soccer, so I find out like that helped me a lot. How to deal, with my mental health. How I be happy. The whole game. I be happy as hell. I can't stop smiling. And when I get home, it's like a nice workout, and I could think back, on how on everything that basically went down, on the field, so keep doing it. So I end up, doing all the sports, like working out, these things, I felt like that I miss out on, is what helped me, to get back, to my well-being. So yeah, it was like my inner child, that was damaged, that led to, having mental health issue.
Wow. Thank you for being so transparent and sharing that story with us. I feel honored that you even felt comfortable to, share that because that could definitely help someone. So thank you so much, Nakajimi, for that. I appreciate you. I see Mr. West. You don't go nowhere because I want to ask you a question still. If unless you
Peace
have to
and
go,
love,
I want to
Mr.
ask you a
West.
question
Peace
still.
and love.
I'm
Mis-
here.
Peace and
okay.
respect. Love
Hey,
Palace.
Miss.
Peace and respect. What's going on,
So
Goddess
how are
D?
you
Sorry,
doing?
Queen.
How you this
I'm
evening, and
managing.
how is your mental health?
My mental health is pretty decent. This daylight savings time been kicking my behind lately. So hopefully my mic's coming in good. Am I coming in good?
Yeah, you good, loud and clear.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I got to get a new headset anyway. But first and foremost, shout out to the Love Palace. I love this sessions that we have. This is like definitely one of the channels that I definitely love to tune into. And shout out to my daughters because I know they're probably listening right now and they're learning something. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
yeah, because I
shout
just
out to
sent
the
them the link,
daughters.
so I
Thank
know the
you.
list. I mean, so this is the type of
Oh,
stuff that
thank
we
you.
need
That's so
to.
special.
No problem. This is the type of stuff that we need to pass on to younger generation. It's so easy to
Absolutely.
get to
Mm,
channels where people are yelling over each other, debating, screaming, hollering. You know what I mean? You don't really learn much out of that. Shout out to Rudy Vegan because he's been delivering a lot of facts that's been
mm,
resonate with me very highly. But
mm,
um, but when it comes to mental health, like I've always said, it's all about having that moment to yourself. The world is so fast, things are going on, and there's so many expectations that's out there that you tend to forget to look at yourself and keep yourself centered and grounded. So having your moment to meditate and just reflect and try not to overload yourself. You know what I mean? Carrying too many burdens doesn't really do anything but add extra layers to that. And before you know it, everything is starting to collapse around you and you don't know where to start to kind of fix things. So you want to be centered and grounded and just have that self love, that self awareness, self acknowledge, and self love. That's the most important value that we can teach. Now, and I don't want to be long winded up here, but a lot of times in the society they teach you not to look at yourself. People are putting on different personas, especially on the internet. People are, not being who they are, so they go into this fantasy world of being something else, and everybody wants to be a teacher, a coach, a mentor, or this and that. Everybody wants to be an expert at something, but I don't hear too many people being students. So I approach everything as a student wanting to learn. You know what I mean? So that's
mm.
just my perspective. I didn't mean to be so long with it.
No, you're good. You're good. You have the floor. It wasn't long winded at all. You guys both. I appreciate both of you guys and Big Dog Philly as well coming up here and speaking
Yes.
because I really get intrigued by hearing the man's point of view of things. Anyway, that's as a woman and as we listen into the facts that we just heard that Elena gave us that how it starts within the womb and we are the nurturers and we are
Mm,
the ones that can have a lot to do with mental health. You know what I'm saying? So if
facts.
we are the ones, why shouldn't we be able to aid and help our men, our children, in our community, or our tribe, I should say, you know,
Mhm.
fight these things. So I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Westwood. Let me ask Nagajini right now. So
Sure.
Nagajini, what do you feel we as women in the community, the tribe, I'm trying to change that to tribe, and the tribe can do to help men with their mental health?
Absolutely.
Uh, that's a hard question for me to answer, but I'm gonna attempt to
Mhm.
answer it.
Okay.
Anyways. So I think one of the things that they can
Okay, the
do
word.
is like what you're doing right now. Which
Mhm.
is being uh is being supportive. Is being able to listen. To what the man are going through, because I feel like a lot of time men don't really have a way, what we call a safe place, a safe haven, to express what they got going on the within themselves. And when we
Mhm.
go to other men's, because they probably already in the same way like us, and they tend to push us away. Man, nah, you gotta suck it up, man. You a man, man. Why you know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear that, man. So all that, so I think like I said, one of the thing, and I'm gonna be very short with it, one of the thing that you guys can do is exactly what you're doing right now. It's allow us,
Hmm.
to express, what we got, what we,
Hmm.
going on within us.
Thank you for that. And I do receive that, and I will keep doing things like this as well. So thank you for that. And Mr. West, the same question for you. I know I've asked you on the other live, but I want to ask you again. What do you think we as women can do to help men with their mental health?
I have to totally agree with the brother. Everything that you're doing right now is very important, very vital to bridging the gap and bringing everybody together. Like from my perspective, women, everything starts with the woman. You know what I mean? Women are the main teachers within our community. Everything comes from the woman first. First, we come from women. You know what I mean? From birth and everything else. So the first teacher you're going to have is mom. You know what I mean? So if you see a group of women coming together, communicating, talking, having a sister network going on, a high acceptance of each other, you know what I mean? That influences us men, you know what I mean, to get it together and say, you know what, our women, you know what I mean, are getting together. And we want to be a part of our women, so we might want to straighten up and do the same thing and get ourselves together. You know what I mean? And then when you get the
Mhm.
men and women together, you get a balance. You know what I mean? So everything the brother said, look, I agree with everything the brother said.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to say something that I learned this week. And, yes, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. Hold it real quick, y'all.
That's good.
I learned some.
That's good though.
Yeah. What I learned this week, and I just want to share this to other women, is that I actually learned that I really just have to shut up and listen. And that's as transparent as I can be. Like, I know we have like want to have a response, and I consider myself to be a good listener until it was like, no, you're not listening, and that meant to me just to listen and don't say nothing. And like I was like, whoa, like it hit me a little different because it was like, no, you communicate well. You have no problem telling how you feel, and you do listen, but you always give a response. I need you to just listen. So, and I feel that made me really listen to what the person had to say first of all, because that got my attention. Like, oh, okay, I'm just supposed to listen, and being able to do that as well was something that I was like, okay, and it made me just realize when I was talking to the person, like, wow, this is really effective. But that's something I want to share with everyone. But I'm just saying, I did as a woman, I did that to a man, and it seemed like to be very effective. So I'm sharing that, but everyone should do that. But anyway, let's welcome the word to the Love
Peace and love, the word.
Palace.
Peace and love.
Peace and light to
Yeah,
all the
salute.
panel.
Peace and respect, word.
I'm sorry, I'm trying. I had a quiet for a second, but I just wanted to hop up real quick and I want to add to what the two brothers said. When you asked what can women do, not like Chief
Hmm.
said, everything in my opinion starts with the woman. That's our first teacher. Just making, and like the other brother said, as men, we taught to hold our emotions in. So, just add to what they say. What they said is just creating a safe space for men to express their emotions. I even say most, mental health is our thoughts and our emotions. And especially as young men, we taught not to express them. We taught to hide them away. But the fact of the matter is, it's a part of them. And the more we suppress it, um, the more it becomes volatile later. It's just something that we hold in there. That's why I'm sorry. Okay, no. That's why most
You,
of us have issues from when we were children. We still got to deal with that along dealing with what we're dealing with as adults. So just creating that safe space. I'm okay now. I'm teaching my wife that now, with my son, like let him express himself, you know.
hmm hmm
Okay. I just wanted to add that real quick. Let me drop back down.
Thank you. I
See you later.
appreciate you, the word. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, King.
Salute, word. Salute.
And I
Yeah.
just want to say something right quick to what the brother is saying, right? Because he's right. We've been taught, we have to ignore or hide it, which is something that's impossible. We can't hide our, emotion and and our feelings, because it's going to come out either way. It's just that when it come out, it's just rushing out. It's like, after
Mm-hmm.
holding, water, for so long, that a water that's flowing like a river, after holding it for so long, it builds so much pressure, and when it finally get that little space, it just rush through, and it could, destroy, do all type of things. And that's kind of what I experienced with us men, with our anger. Is the fact that we've been holding our emotions, our feeling in for so long, and then, when it come out, it just come out, in a way, in a destructive way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very, very valid points. To you guys are saying so, and then I feel like um allow us, the men should allow us to nurture them. That's what my advice would be for to men. Allow us the opportunity to help nurture you and help you to know how to find your greatest self and help heal you. That we are really genuine. Most most women, I'm speaking for myself, and hopefully a lot of other women that are genuinely care, and that the information we're telling you or things that we're trying to relate to you and let you find in yourself is for your benefit. Don't turn that away and make it seem like something that it's not. Like, it's when it's genuine and the person is telling you they're being really genuine with you and they're trying to work with you and help you with that, it's really true. Don't think because it's never happened before that it's not true. It's because it's your time for it to happen. And that's what I want to share. So yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you. I think, this is what we look for. Sometimes we don't know it yet, right? As men, we don't know
Mhm.
that's what we need yet, but when we see it, we know, okay, that's exactly what I need. you know it's like,
Mhm.
dating a woman, right? You might have the type of idea of woman that you want, but when you see her, when you deal with her, when you start to, uh connect with her, you realize, okay, this is exactly what you need. So it's the same thing that, what you guys is doing, the place that you guys preparing for us, whether we know it yet or not, this is what we need, so it's a matter of fact, before we accept the fact that, okay, this is what we need.
Mhm. I think it's very vital. Even we include the children in that. Like I said last week, everybody, regardless if you have children or not, plays a part in children's life, because they don't just look at the married people or the people with kids. Children look at everybody. So everybody is responsible for the children. I just don't think that it's a lot of my friends that are single and don't have kids. They took my kids and helped, raise them and help me to help raise them, because they were looking at everything. So all our behaviors all the way around when it comes to the future, our children matters. No matter if you're single, married, whatever race, color, what age, the kids are looking at us, period. So the way that we can help with their mental health is being aware of our actions so that we can show them that there's another way. And that's how I feel we can implement the children. And
Major
let's welcome
facts.
my sister, Empress Sharon, to the platform. Hey, sis.
Much
Mic
love
check.
and
Salute,
respect to you,
sis.
sis.
Salute
Peace and respect.
everyone on the panel. Definitely an awesome topic. Much, much needed, and especially during this time when so much is going on. But I guess I wanted to just come up here and add my 2 cents into the conversation
Absolutely.
about mental health and family. Um, very, very important. It just takes me back because sometimes, we take for granted that, our loved ones is fine, we're, in the house, we're getting fed, we're getting clothed, you know, uh, our needs are kind of being met, the necessary needs, but we sometimes overlook what can be going on, maybe on the outside of the home or even on the inside of the home that is being hidden. So I
Mm-hmm.
say that to say it is important for us to, not take, that for granted that our child is okay, everything is fine, because it might be some things that they don't know how to come to you to talk to you about. So I feel like, it's very important and just to have conversations with the children, just an open
Mm-hmm.
conversation, which sometimes leads to things that they might be experiencing and didn't know how to bring out. And just having those, open conversations might open a leeway to them finding a way to talk to you about something that they're experiencing. And just sometimes just checking on them because I've experienced with some of my children, my especially my oldest daughter, because she's the oldest, so you always kind of feel like they got it, they always trying to help out and stuff, but sometimes they feel like they're being slighted or nobody is checking on them or wondering if they're okay.
Right.
And I just touching experience today with one of my daughters. I was actually kind of doing a reading and the messages that came to me. Um then all of a sudden my daughter just popped in my head and was like, wow, let me just text her and see if she all right. And then something said, send her that information because, she's kind of dealing with, some of the same things I'm dealing with, just, trying to be that person to show kindness and love to people, help out when you can, and then you find out you're being taken for granted or taken advantage of. And it makes you kind of want to close your heart. And I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a long battle of opening my heart, because of a lot of hurt and pain, and I didn't even realize how close it was until I was really, I guess, encountered with different things. So, and sending that information to my daughter, she was like, Mom, thank you so much. I really thank God for you. You don't know you are the best. And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just saying that. um, I'm truly thankful for you, and you don't really realize how different you are. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. I appreciate it and I humbly accept it, and then I extend it, by telling her, what you see in me, understand that you came through me. So it's also in you. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it was so touching because I realized I've been able to be that comfort, and sometimes even my grandchildren used to say to me, Grandma, you a psychiatrist or whatever. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
that. It's just that from learning, well, I won't say I'm not, maybe, that's
Mm-hmm.
one of my gifts. Just from going through what I've gone through as a child and feeling like I didn't have that open outlet to express myself and seeing how it really affected me even up into adulthood. I wanted to um, extend that openness to my children and grandchildren, and I always told them, I want you to voice what you feel. Tell me what you feel, whatever it is. And if I feel like, it's something that you're thinking that is not correct, I will correct it. But I won't know what's going on if you don't express it to me. So that's to say that, that's something that I feel like we should incorporate, letting the children know it's okay to express yourself. Because I know I grew up in a household where you couldn't really openly express yourself. And somewhat, when you did, it was like you being disrespectful. But it's a way for them to express their self and still be respectful. And, pretty much, in an innocent way, just really trying to let you know what's going on with them and, where they need help at.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%. Go ahead, Mama D.
No, go ahead, because I know you're driving. Go ahead. You good? Okay.
Oh,
I love how. Oh, go
mhm.
ahead, Sadi.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I love how, like I said, everyone's being transparent up here, and I love how Sharon um, showed how what she felt she was lacking, how she's like for her, the next generation, we have to be able to change that. I call that breaking generational curses. That's what I call that. Because I said that last week on the one for the children. We can't, parents and any adult spirit, we can't sit here and say, "Oh, come talk to me. I need you to, be transparent and you can tell me anything." And then when they tell you anything and you go and be like, go off, they're gonna say, "See, this is why I don't do that." You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I had a couple of times where I did that and I had to come back and I was grateful that my sons came and told me, they were like, "Mom, you said you wasn't going to do that." And I was like, "I did say that." And so it made me aware of that. So be prepared for your child to do that. Or if you have any connection with any children, children are very, especially the young ones, they're very transparent. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? But if you get into them teenage years and all that, and they want to tell you, "Go, I'm gonna let you go, Sadi, in a minute," and they tell you, need to tell you different type of stories now, be ready and be prepared. And just like I said, either go for a drive or a walk or something, and then but yeah, go ahead, Sadi. Oh, I thought she had something to say. Yeah. Okay, so Sharon, let me ask you a question. What do you
Hmm.
think you as a woman needs from men when it comes to mental health?
Wow. Hmm. Good question, and it's one that I really have to think about. But one of the things that stands out the most is honesty,
Mhm.
being open and transparent with me. I would say, regardless of what it is, and in the same incidents like my children, you know, being
Mhm.
open and
Mhm.
and it's being open with you regardless of what it is. And it could be something that he feel like you might upset you, or
Mhm.
maybe possibly, make you want to say it's done. But
Right. Right.
being and being open, telling you what's really the truth, you'll never find out how I'm gonna respond if you don't tell me what's really the truth. But
Mhm.
when I know it's not, it will definitely make me want to push away. So I feel like, we just got to be more transparent. I would prefer a man being more transparent with me. And I feel like, yes, I could be tough sometimes, but I'm reasonable. I will look at a situation and try to dissect it, and look at it for what it really is. You know, um, and and it also affords me a choice, or the other person a choice, if that's what they want to do. Because when you're not being truthful, you're taking that person's choice away from them. So
Mhm.
that's what, yeah.
All right. If I had one of them
That's
drop a bomb noise, I would drop it on that one. Let's go. That was
Right.
beautiful. That was
Dropping
beautiful.
gems. Dropping them beautiful gems and them facts indeed, darling. We all have to be aware. Be aware and be prepared, okay? Don't just
mhm.
one person at a time. But no, Mama D, thank you so much for having me on the panel. I do have to go. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure. These topics are important. We just have to continue doing the work,
Yes.
just putting it out
absolutely.
there, spreading
And
the word. So yeah. Hmm.
yes, I want to just add to that, saying that, we were all given free will.
Real
And
quick,
going,
Sharon, because Sadi's just gonna drop down. We're gonna still go. I just want to make sure yeah, she's gonna drop down. Well, I'm not ending it. So real quick, let me just make sure
Yeah,
she good. Okay, Sadi, thank you so much. I
of
will
course.
get with you next week for sure.
Of course. Love you guys. I'll be listening in. Talk to you guys soon. Take care of each other. And peace and love. Okay.
Peace, Sunny
Thank
Queen.
you. Okay,
Yeah, much love and respect.
All right, y'all.
okay, sister, go ahead. There you go.
I wanted to add that, we all were given free will from the divine. So when we're not being honest with, our partner, or the partner not being honest with you, we're actually robbing that person of their free will.
Mm, let's go. Absolutely. That's a very valid point there. So, Keith, let me ask you, um,
Hmm.
how do you think you can help with, since you have children, with helping with their mental health? What are the things that you would tell them or yourself or others that to help with their children's mental health?
When it comes to my daughters, I pretty much tell them to learn to love yourself and learn to accept yourself. You know what I mean? And when you're dealing with situations and different obstacles, try your best to maintain it, but also go to someone who you can depend on and you can trust to speak to, just like myself. When I'm carrying a lot of burdens, I clear them out because I know anytime I can get that phone call from one of my daughters saying, Dad, we need to talk, or because my daughters are in their teens now. So they're going to be experiencing different things, and their mom is always doing a tremendous job with them. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
they also need a male's perspective. So when they call me or whenever I can spend time with them, I try to, give them hugs and stuff like that, and let them know I love them. Keep that reminder going. If I'm at work, I'll get off work and text them as soon as I get off work. Good morning or grand rising to them, just to kind of constantly remind them that they are loved. You know what I mean? So when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to children, you got to keep hammering that I love you, because in this world we live in, you don't hear that word a lot. That's why in that last session that we had, I just flat out came out and was like, I love you, I love you, because
Mm-hmm.
that's something you don't hear a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, just hammering that love home and being open, like my mother used to do me. She always had me and my older sister, my brothers and us, and she would say, you guys can talk to me about whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, even if I don't like the subject matter, but I'll still do my best to kind of navigate and help you and give you my honest opinion. That's all I can really get. So that would be a key that I would use with my daughters and my son.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Excuse me, some very
Sure.
valid points there. I think the lines of communication is always should be open for, everybody's mental health. Communication is a major, major key. Nagajini, do you have children?
Yeah, I got a daughter,
Oh,
and
okay. So same question applies to you. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I think one of the things we can do is to let them know it's okay to ask question. Because like the sister was
Hmm.
saying, before, it was considered to be disrespectful, to ask, question. You had to be quiet, and just take orders. That's just what it is. So I think with that, a lot of kids, tend to hold, you know, the question, whatever they had to say, instead of say think that it's okay to do it. So I think one of the things is to ask question. Is to let them know it's okay to ask certain question.
Hmm. I totally agree with that. That's why I said, like, that we can't say I want you to come and communicate and talk to me about everything and then have a weird reaction or react a certain type of way, or when they come back and say, see, you said this, and be like, so I wasn't right. No, we can't do that, because we're that's going to turn them away. And I've, like I said, I feel even if you're not a parent, because there's a lot of times where children like to talk to people that don't have kids, because they feel like, especially when there's several children in the household, you might have a friend or family member that you're more keen to, and being able, setting that example and showing that you can communicate things to me as well. So, like, I had that experience within my family. They're my little cousins, but they call me Auntie D, and they all treat me like that. And they have came to me with situations, and of course, I told them, I'm going to tell their parent, but they were very happy that they was like, okay, we tell her, so now we have somebody that already knows, and we were able to relay certain things to them, and it worked good. So even if you're not a parent of your own children, you still are part of the future, and that's where I really like am stressing on this episode, that we are all part of these children's future. So we need to, and their mental health, which includes their mental health. So we need to act accordingly for the future.
I
That's what I
agree,
like to share.
indeed,
That's right.
Mm.
I agree. That's right.
because I think that's what kind of helped me. I mean, not help me, but force me not to, you know, uh, experience my inner child, because
Mhm.
everybody around me, you know, was so pressing on that, that you have to do this, you have to do that, you know what I'm saying. So they themselves was already didn't experience their inner child, so that was passed down to me, and I was forced to adapt the same way. So I think by kind of reverse the cycle, I think that
Mhm.
definitely will help.
Yeah, I like that you bring up the inner child, because that's something that I had to do. And oh man, like, it's, so those that don't know what inner childhood is, basically just going to like your childhood and facing things that you might need to face or deal with, and going through it, not just leaving it there. You basically go through it. So you can go through a lot of emotions when you go through your inner child, because I had to do that, and sometimes I still got to go. It's just not as bad as it was at the beginning, where now I'm like, okay, now I got the answer. But when you first start that work, and it helps with your mental health, I'm telling you, like, a lot of questions got answered for me by me going back to like my inner child, and forgiving others, forgiving myself mainly, and just really saying, no, it's okay, and this is what happened, and this is the reason why. And it helped me to be able to have a better relationship with myself, come to my higher self, and with my children. So that inner child is a good thing to work on for your mental health. Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in? Go ahead.
I
I would
just
just
wanted
say,
to say,
oh, go ahead, sis.
Okay.
Sorry.
okay.
Go ahead.
Wanted to say to Mr. West, I think that is
Hmm.
very good that you check on your daughters and talk to them, and let them know how much you love them and all that. I came up in a household with my mom and my dad, and well, my dad was, working. Both of them was working parents, but my mom was home at times. But I mean, most of the time. But what I have found out is, a lot of stuff that we don't understand as children that go on with the adults in the home, whatever it might be, we understand we all adults here that, men be probably chasing women, or, I mean, other women, and the mother is, upset and, wondering where he at, and then she got to raise the children too, and she got all of that frustration on her with what she dealing with her husband, and then she got to deal with the children and nourish her and stuff, and that can trigger down to the children. So as parents, very of what we're doing, how we're conducting ourselves, and how what we do can affect our children. Even in the way we might react to them indirectly, not even knowing, you know, that can cause uh some triggering, I would say, moments later in life. Um, but
Right.
what I realized is, with my father, I would say was saying he was working all the time and all that. So I never really, I mean, he was there, he was loving, he was providing, but as far as having a relationship with my father, I didn't have that. And I would say our relationship that fell, because of, what I'm seeing in the home and all of that. So even though I always loved my father and I knew he loved me, our relationship never pretty much developed as a daughter and father. And he's passed now. But anyway, so I say that to say, Mr. West, that is a very important, part, of your daughter's life that you are giving to them by, checking on them, talking to them. Even I feel, the men should, make sure they express to their daughters what to expect, when they're getting ready to get involved in a relationship, how they should be treated, what they shouldn't, accept, and that type of stuff. That would help the women, because I feel like
Keith,
with me
are you
not
coming up
really
twice?
having
Hold on, real quick, Sharon. Keith, are you coming up twice? Somebody's
Mhm.
coming up under Mr. West. Did you drop down? Okay, y'all, I don't know. Hold on. Real quick, Sharon. I'm sorry. Oh, he just I don't know, maybe I don't know. It seemed like there was okay, sorry. Keith, are you oh yep, that was him. Okay, go ahead. It showed two of him coming in and I didn't know if that
Oh,
was him. So yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It
okay.
threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute. Go ahead, Sharon.
What I,
I just want
and I had two brothers in the house, but they were more like my father, so we didn't have a, well, one of them was always out. Me and him was very close, but the other one, we didn't have a good relationship too much, but they were like fathers. But I thank them for who they were at that time for us, because they kept us out of a lot of trouble. But I say that to say, because of those relationships with the male figures in my family, I believe it made it tough for me in a relationship with men, knowing how to deal with them, how to address them.
absolutely. Absolutely. I can
That's
concur with
mainly.
that. hmm I've been there, Star, because I was one of them women that had daddy issues. So I know that was part of my mental health, and that was part of uh, the mental health of my marriage. Like that was part of that as well. That affected that as well. But I didn't know what that was. Nobody told me that that was daddy issues, until I, like I was like, ooh, if somebody would have told me in my teenage years or why I'm acting this way or just had any type of clue or research, which I'm sure it was available, but it wasn't available to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's a lack of it being around now. I mean, then back then than now. You know what I'm saying? Now we could do this. That's why we're, up here having that. But and for sure, I didn't realize that that affected my mental health. When I tell you seriously, and then, like I said, I had to really do some inner child work, and then that is how I've learned to become, like I said, my higher me, going back and doing that work. So yes, definitely we need to, and I think a lot of women have daddy's issues. So shout out to the men that treat them princesses like they are, and once they know that they daddy love them, can nobody surpass that love, or they have to have that same equal love, because they'll be like, I don't care if my daddy loves me. They'll say that in a minute. So shout out to you men that are doing that, taking care of
My
you.
mic coming in good.
And what just ran
Yeah.
um uh, what just ran across my mind too is that, with spending that time with your daughter, you will be surprised of, the familiar. I'm trying to find the right word, but you would be surprised of the similarities you might see in your daughter that come from you. And I said that because as I was talking, I thought about my dad, and my dad loved fishing. And later on in life, I really got into fishing, and I really loved it. And I constantly sometimes run in my mind, I wish he would have, took me fishing, with him when he used to go, that type
Mm-hmm.
of thing. So those are wishes that, right now, cannot come true because he's gone, But
Mm-hmm.
so I said that pretty much let the men know those are, very important factors as well, Just going out, being with them, spending some time with them, showing them some of the things you enjoy doing, or finding out some of the things they enjoy doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Keith.
agree with
My,
that too. Go
all
ahead,
right,
bro.
totally. It's not. I was just gonna check and see if my mic was working. I had a notification. I had to cut it off, and I ended up that coming back onto StreamYard again accidentally. So I hope I didn't
No,
mess
yeah,
up the
I didn't. No,
conversation.
I didn't. No, no, you could. I just didn't know. I was like, people be pretending to be people. So I'm like, Keith, is that you? That's you. Could.
Yeah, that's
No, the conversation's going. We still going.
cool. Um, yeah, you know what? First and foremost, I appreciate hearing that because a lot of men, especially men who are at least doing what they have to do for their children, they're not getting the recognition. You know what I mean? Um, I do it because I think about my father. You know what I'm saying? And he worked a lot. That was just his main thing. That he worked a lot. He made sure things were always taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And when I lost him, you know what I mean? It was like it was a dark moment for me to get through. You know what I'm saying? So it showed me how important it is to always keep bettering yourself and try not to repeat the same mistakes that you might have seen others do. You know what I mean? So I dedicate myself to not do what my father did, you know what I'm saying, and to do the total opposite and be here, regardless how difficult things may be. You got to always put your best foot forward, and you always got to find that love and acceptance of yourself. And these are the things that I demonstrate to my daughters and my son. You know, you got to take care of your mind and you got to take care of your heart. Those are the two most important tools that you have in this life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
agree 100% with everything that's being said. Starting with the relationship, I think a lot of men don't have relationship with their father also. Is more so resistance because a lot of I think a lot of fathers try to control their kids instead of focus on building a relationship with them you know and that kind of cause a resistance you know between them, and there is no relationship. So I definitely agree that the relationship is important to have with your kids. you know uh I'll even go a little further to say with your we have a relationship with everybody around you, but it definitely
Mm-hmm.
start with the kids, to have that relationship, instead of trying to, get control, over the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Major
I,
facts.
I totally totally agree with like you guys all are doing good points. And I'm really concerned about the future. And I'm a grandmother now. Well, I've been a grandmother for about 4 years now, but I have a granddaughter now, so I'm really making sure and really working on the teenage and all children really, because we got to put these messages out there to know that we're here to help you, because the rate of unalive teenagers is ridiculous, guys. Like self unalive, I should say that. Even unalive, period. They kill each other, Oh, see, I just said it. My bad. They do it to each other. But the self inflicted ones are like the ones I just like, oh man, we got to do something about this because it's at a high, like at the highest it's ever been. And that means there's some mental health, things we need to try to discuss and have these conversations with people, with our young people, so that they know, hey, we're here. Or even if we don't have the answer, we know somebody that has experienced this. Like, oh, I might need you to talk to Sharon or Nagajini or you, Mr. West. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might not be uh, talented or gifted in what I need to know, but I know who you could go talk to about it that can help you with that. So that's what I'm really concerned about. But we got to work on the men, women, and then the children, and then collectively put it together, to make it work and make our next generation don't have these many issues, and know that there is so much more to life, because they're going to be the future, and this is going to be part of the future. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure they have some good information out there and act accordingly. you know
That's right.
yeah, so this
Giving
is a
them the
wonderful
information.
topic. Go ahead.
I like that. I like that you said act accordingly, because just giving them the information and not showing the example, that can also cause them to rebel, and not want to do what you tell them to do, because they're looking at you and saying, well, you telling me not to do this, but look at you doing it, so
Mm-hmm. Because
the
that's the
example
generation I
voice.
was raised in. Yeah, I think you were.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was raised like do what I say, not what I do. And it's so confusing as a child. You're like, what? But you love me, and you say don't lie. This is very very confusing. So we have to be able, like I said, to have those tough conversations. And this is another thing that I've learned. We have to admit when we're wrong, and tell them when we do wrong too,
Right.
and show them where we see, because
Yeah.
they think, yeah,
Facts.
I thought growing up there was some perfect people in my family. You know what I'm saying? That's the perception they gave me. And then when the truth came out, I'm like, wait a minute, not auntie or not cousin or not uncle this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, OGK, how you doing this evening? Thanks for showing up. So we can't be afraid when we make a mistake. We got to be able to admit that too, and go back and say, man, you know what? Look, this is what I did. Even hearing stories, that's where I felt my generation felt at. All these stories of how they struggled and went through relationship issues and all this, they want to tell us now that we're grown. And I'm looking at them like, no, you should have told this. So I didn't feel like half of the stories and things that my great aunt was telling me was like my life. And I'm like, oh my God, if I'd have known that somebody went through this, I would have been able to come to you. Like, we got to stop doing this. Don't tell me when I'm an adult. I mean, I'm glad it came out. But you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it was just, I was like, oh my God. So definitely admitting when we're wrong, period, even to people, and for the overall being of mental health, showing that, hey, I made a mistake, I'm not perfect, and
Right.
then act accordingly. Like I keep saying, acting accordingly.
Oh my God, you just hit it on the head, because that
Yes.
the men go through that a lot. It's like, we would let us look at, the little boy in the face and tell them like, okay, I could do that. I'm grown. I'm a man. You a little boy. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And the little boy will look at you like, what do you mean by that? Like, it's wrong. Why can't you do something that's wrong, but I can't do it? So, okay, is it really
Mm,
wrong, or you just don't want me to do it? So it's confusing at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree. With that, we just admit. It's not so much tell that, okay, I was wrong, but it's admit that, because I think most of the time the kids, they're so smart, they're so intelligent, they already know.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That, yeah, you messed up right there. Because you told me this, or you told me
right.
that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying something different. So yeah, I agree.
A
Yeah.
lot. You know what?
And like I
I'll
said,
say
even as
this.
adults, go ahead, Keith. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just say this briefly. I think a lot of times we tend to teach our children on our level instead of us going to their level. That way we could teach them at their level of understanding. A lot of things that I'm into and I study and I read about and stuff, it's advanced stuff. So sometimes I forget how to go into my inner child self. So I get to my daughters, like especially my son. I like relive my childhood through him. So every mistake, every error he makes, I don't chastise him, I don't yell, I don't holler. You know what I'm saying? I just embrace it, and I just explain to him, son, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? So a lot of times as adults, we tend to take this title and label as an adult as some kind of superior, thing. And we forget sometimes that we have to lower ourselves to our children's level of understanding. That way things will come better to them and they can receive the message better. Instead of us trying to be an adult and holler and scream and yell, or either try to keep certain things hidden. You know what I mean? Be more transparent, be open, and just treat them on that level. You know what I mean? Now there's definitely times when you have to be the parent, you know what I mean? But then there's time when you also have to be close to your child and embrace them and let them know, I love you. You can come and talk to me about anything, you know? So that's just what I want to throw out there.
That's another point again. You hit it on the head again. Is that's very true. You know, I definitely appreciate that. For sharing your point of view, for sure.
Salute. Appreciate you, bro, brother. Appreciate you.
Cause I could say,
Absolutely.
the same. I could say the same. Through me. Especially through me. When I was little. I went through the same thing. I think that's what made me grow up so fast. Then I didn't even get to enjoy my childhood. Because
That's
I
right.
was always to try to understand things. On a on a grown people level, instead of trying to understand things on a child level. I had question, I had a lot of things, but the answer I was getting, was, it wasn't so comprehensive, right? I wasn't able to comprehend these things, as a kid. So I had to grow up fast to understand, okay, this is why I don't need to be doing this, or this is why, this was told to me, instead of like get it on my level the way, I needed to, to get it. And most of the time I had to go outside, and find it. I couldn't get it, when it comes to my parents, because like I said, there was no asking question. It was like, okay, you just gonna do this, or you're gonna get whooped. So I grew up in that era, where they don't we don't care, what the law say. We're gonna whoop you, and you better not, make a scene out of it and let people know you're getting whooped.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Major facts. And a lot of our males go through that where we grow up fast and we're not living our childhood. So we go out here and then we start doing adult things. And then people are judging, like, well, you're just a kid. Yeah, but my situation puts me in an adult situation. You know what I mean? Nobody is on my level to talk to me and communicate me on my level of understanding. Because you got some children out here who are highly educated and smart, like my daughter. Salute to them. They're highly intelligent. They got skills when it comes to painting and drawing, and I embrace that. I don't try to force the whole, the world is crazy and what's going on in politics and men and women. If anything, I talk to them about painting because that's their passion. You know what I mean? So when it comes to our children, a lot of times we do that. We tend to just kind of like, okay, well, you need to grow up, you need to get out here and focus on making money, you need to focus on, your body development and this and that. No, no, take one thing at a time. Talk to them on their level. And that's just my approach. You know what I mean? I'm still a student of this myself, so I'm still learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're one of the best, bro. You're one of the best, bro, doing it for your kids. I'm telling you right now, you're one of the top. You know what I'm saying? The way you're doing it, for sure, your
I
kids gonna
appreciate you.
appreciate that.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Like I said, I'm still learning. I'm not an expert or the father of the year. I'm just trying to do the opposite of what I've got growing up. Not saying that my father wasn't a bad man, but he wasn't. He just didn't have the time to focus on us as much as my mother did. Now that I'm older, working and paying bills and this and that, I get it now. This can be overwhelming. So that ties in with men's health again, because we get out here and we get so caught up like a robot. We get so caught up with doing things that we don't think. Everything is just go, 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 make money, do this, do that, do this, do that. So we all get caught up in our mind that, we just focus on one thing, one thing only. And then the children, they're being overlooked, and then a relationship can go sour because things are going overlooked. So you just got to take time to unload, get yourself grounded, and just focus on what's important. Communicate to people on your level. You don't have to scream, you don't have to holler, you don't have to put yourself in a position when you have a certain title or label about yourself. So you demand respect, you demand people to see you a certain way. No, just come to people in your purest form. You know what I mean? I'm a student just like you're a student. I'm learning just like you're learning. But I'm gonna land my plane there.
Sharon, was you gonna say something?
Yes, they made some very good points, and one of the things they were saying, be on the children level, don't talk to them, pretty much when we're trying to talk to them, don't talk to them on the adult level, on the children level, and that is really good. And the thing that came to my mind too is a lot of times when the children are young, sometimes 5, 6, and maybe 8 or whatever, we as adults ask them, oh, who your boyfriend or who your girlfriend, and sometimes they ain't even thinking about nothing like that. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that be like planting in their heads. So we have to be
Mm-hmm.
careful
Hmm.
even with that type of, and on the accountability and stuff, and pretty much owning up that we make mistakes too, helps them to understand that we are not perfect. We're striving towards that way, but we're not perfect, and it's okay to make a mistake. Long as you learn from it, you get the lesson from it. But when we
Mm-hmm.
don't, that it puts in their mind that they supposed to be perfect and we perfect and everything else, and then when they see something
Mm-hmm.
differently, it's almost a shock. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone brought up some very, very good, very valid points. I think at the end of it, all for mental health to end this series. I know it'll be revisited again because it's definitely we could talk about it for different avenues. But I think overall consistency is to we had to learn how to communicate with each other and watch how our actions are. And like I said, I think communication has a lot to do. I'm just a big on communication in life, period, because like Empress Sharon said that how give me the opportunity to decide what I'm going to do, having that communication. So I feel like if we communicate sad, happy, mad, all that, and what my lesson was, like I said, I learned this week was just actually shutting up and listen. Like I really had to really do that, and it was like okay, and it seemed to be effective. So that's what I learned too. That communication part is really don't say nothing and just listen, and that can be effective as well. So you guys have any last words? Hello.
Well, I'll
Y'all there?
say, I'll, yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. I'll just say, peace and respect to everybody. At the end of the day, men, women, and child, we are definitely a unit together. So at the end of the day, we're all still learning. Just because I'm an adult, it doesn't mean that my education or
Hmm.
my learning is capped there. You know what I mean? We all have an inner child in us, and we need to focus on that inner child and just try to deal with, the pros and the cons, and just put your best foot forward and stay focused and love yourself.
Absolutely. And shout out to your daughters. Those are the twins that are listening. Is that
Yes.
who? Okay, so shout out to the twins. Thank you for tapping in. We appreciate having Mr. West, your father, on the platform, and he has. You guys are very fortunate to have a dad like him. And thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys come back.
Yes, it'll be
Um,
fun. Son, when I talk to him tomorrow on the phone, they'll be excited. Appreciate you
okay,
guys, Steve, for this platform. Thank you.
no problem. Nagajini,
Oh,
you
and
got?
hello,
Oh, go ahead.
twins. I had myself, so wow, that's amazing. But how old are they?
Oh, my daughter. I'm
Hello,
sorry.
Mr. West.
My daughters are 13. Hello.
Okay, they
13.
are identical twins.
Yes, yes. I have
There are
actually when
they
I
are.
first. Yeah, they're identical. Yes, they're actually on my YouTube. They're like the only videos I have of me and my
Hmm.
daughters and son. So yeah, they're 13, and my son is 9.
Okay. Well, I just want to share I guess a tip if I can. Being that they are twins and identical twins, and I know I have had twins. I guess I lost one of them, but I know there's always been a struggle with twins to identical twins to have their own individuality, and that's one thing that I had to learn with my twins, and teach everybody else. Just because they're twins don't mean that they're everything about them is alike. Even they that have a
Hmm.
whole lot
Right,
of similarity, but they're still
right.
individuals, and we had to learn to let them be their individual self as well. Yeah.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And thank you for the tip. Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. All right. Nakajini, you have any last words? Is he there? Did we lose him? Hello. Okay, maybe he got busy. All right, Sharon, you want to say some last words,
Well,
or was that it?
I'm definitely enjoying this mental health. This is a big thing. I'm very interested in also always had it's one of my goals to have a mental health facility,
Me
but
too.
more
Hmm.
prevention type and also a healing. Yeah. But
Hmm.
it's definitely very clear, and we all suffer from some type of mental health issues, and we
Hmm.
shouldn't be, uh, I guess, too proud to admit it or feel what I'm going to say, shame or anything to admit that we do have some mental health issues. It's not that we're admitting it's a sickness, yes, if you let it go too long, but at the same time, it's I want to say, it's normal reactions to situations that we can't cope with. So it's
Hmm.
nothing to be shamed about because we want help. We need to be able to have a healthy lifestyle. And that's what mental health is all about. Having a healthy lifestyle so that we can be successful in life. Um, and I think this is really good. God is still love. And I'm so glad the gentleman that's on here have came up and was very open
Hmm.
and vulnerable. And it would even be have some youth on the panel to give us some perspective, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, us come together as a family unit as well as a culture, black culture, you know, and it is much needed. Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
it's
want.
okay. It's okay, greedy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
I just want to say, if as a man personally, I think if you're not able to to be able to talk about what you went through, you haven't really healed from that. You're still dealing with that. There is some insecurity coming from that. So you're not able to share your experience. But if you truly or fully heal from that, then it's not it's normal, it's natural to share your experience because you're not looking at it from a guilt or from a shame perspective. You're looking at it from an experience that you were able to overcome. But I just
Right.
want to say thank you for having me, goddess, and
Anytime.
the
Anytime.
yeah, the
You're
brother,
welcome to come to the Love Palace all the time.
yeah,
Anytime, Mark.
thank you for having me, and much love and respect to the brother and the sister, and
Salute.
the other sister that was up here, or the brother too.
Saudi, and Big Dog Philly came up. Did you see Big Dog Philly came up first? Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Shout
for
out to
sure. So,
yeah,
salute to the OG. He
yeah.
was
The
the first
word,
one to hop on.
Yes,
the
he
word came
was.
through.
Oh, the word, yes. Thank you. Oh, I had
Salute.
all
Yeah.
ladies, I had all the men. Y'all was slipping on this one. But anyway,
But yeah,
it
until
wouldn't be
next
every
time.
all right.
And
Till next time.
let
Have
me
a
say
good
something. And let me say something else before we close this out. You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Goddess D, appreciate you. Everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. Look, I love you guys. Stay safe and just stay grounded. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with saying you love somebody. We don't need to be egotistical and be tough guy, whatever, whatever. Nothing wrong with saying those words. I love you. And with that, I'm gonna land there.
Oh, thank you, Keith. Much love to you as well. Absolutely.
And
Sharon, was you
thanks
gonna
for
say
that,
something?
Keith West. Yes, I wanted to say thanks for that, Keith West, about it's nothing wrong with saying you love you. I love you. And that's
That's right.
something we definitely need to incorporate in the family unit. Always letting our family members know we love them. You know, even though sometimes we take it for granted that they already know, but just hearing it out our mouth makes it even better. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. I appreciate each one of you guys that came up to the platform. Y'all make sure y'all hit that link for brunch and tea here. Let me y'all step here real quick while I do the promo for brunch and tea. Y'all make sure y'all hit that link and subscribe to the brunch and tea with Kima Shindy. Hold on, y'all, real quick. Let me just make sure y'all come off brunch and tea, and that's Monday through Friday, 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm just gonna go to the specific time. It'll be 10:15 my time. So on the East Coast, 1:15, and then all in between that, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share, and subscribe on this particular video. I appreciate everyone that came down, everybody that showed up in the clouds and in the bushes. Y'all get out the bushes. I want y'all to be in the clouds. I like the clouds better. But anyway, definitely. And I don't know, guys. Next week I'll be traveling, going back, hopefully back to, I am going back to Colorado. So I don't know if I'm going to have the Love Palace, but you never know what can happen. especially because I might be around Saudi, so we might have to go live a little bit. But peace and love to everybody. I appreciate my wonderful mods, my sisters, and everybody that hit the platform so much. And I am going to take us out with, I think, Goddess is a song by Greedy and Aladdin. Let me get it together, y'all. Let's see. I can find it. Where is it at? This is, oh man. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. I thought I had it in here. Okay, so we're gonna do, where'd it go? Oh, here we go, y'all.
Yeah. Greedy.
We will have nothing without our mama.
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
Our goddesses, our goddesses. Where will we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How will men think without our goddesses? We will have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughter. Yeah, we need our goddesses, our goddesses. How will we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How will men think without our goddesses? We will have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughter.
Yeah. I think of your ways, your love never cease to amaze. Your sweetness is praised. Is where I find some peace these days. Beaching with babes, red grapes, peaches and shades, a leaf with some haze, that good wine, kiwi and lime. She be my kind and style, my everything here and now. That smile is something to see, and comforting me. It ain't another place that I would comfortably be. You're like a freedom. I gave you my truths and you received them. The reasons that I've changed be easing me through these pains. Explains how I'm nothing without you. Something about you, I gotta get out here and be great for you. Plan to cop a crib with some land by the lake for you. A break for you. Open my eyes. You gave me hope and ways to cope. When I feel like I'm losing it, you hold me and say no. Your love's dope and I need you. Be piercing my heart like a needle. Wanna hug and squeeze you.
Our goddesses, our goddesses. Where will we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How will men think without our goddesses? We will have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughter. Yeah, we need our goddesses, our goddesses. How will we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How will men think without our goddesses? We will have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughters. Yeah. Goddesses, my goddesses, paradise she hypnotized me with her seductive lips, you magnetic and fire shit. I don't know what my problem is, although I can't get a grip, I still never let her slip. Your touch can create peace to my soul, inspiration from my examination of your creation has me achieving my goals. You my motivation to finding how to heal my soul. Keep it real when it's real. She taught me how to heal. She taught me how to feel. She taught me how to deal with the emotions that a man may feel. And for the home cooked meals, infinite gratitude, mama. Thanks for being there through all of my drama. Speaking of drama, y'all can be crazy, but that ain't stopping the option of you being my lady. Besides, between your thighs is that juicy passion that can seduce my savage. Is calling me, gotta have it. Her loving is how I function, no discussion. Our goddesses, our goddesses. Where will we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How will men think without our goddesses? We will have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughter. Yeah, we need our goddesses, our goddesses. How will we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How will men think without our goddesses? We will have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughters. Yeah.